Roberts.
Thank you, Mr Acting Deputy President. I'm not that short. Maybe I am. I am pretty short, yeah, with the emphasis on short, not pretty. One nation leads the way on freedom of speech. We have done so since 2020, and the horrific impediments against freedom of speech, the withdrawal of human speech, free speech and human rights that occurred with COVID mismanagement under both Labor and Liberal at state and federal level. I want to firstly start by thanking Senator Shoebridge, who has largely, through his work holding governments accountable, this and the previous one, earned my respect, and for his work on human rights. I do not, though, trust the Greens as a whole. They often, and I should say usually, contradict data, contradict evidence, so I don't trust them. But I do trust Senator Shoebridge. So let's go through a quick list of positives. What we like. This bill recognises the right to peaceful protest. We support that right wholeheartedly. This bill also recognises that the right to peaceful protest is subject to issues of national security, rightly so. Also subject to public safety, public order, the protection of public health. And, importantly, the protection of other people's rights and freedoms. That's very important. Sadly, this last protection, the protection of people's rights and freedoms, is just a motherhood statement, and the body of the bill contains nothing specific about those protections, nothing specific. So what are we not comfortable with? Protest includes, the phrase of protest includes actions that are disruptive or seek to disrupt. Section 5, Clause B. We do not support disruptive or disruptive matters, disruptive events or protests, or those that seek to disrupt. We oppose that. The bill does not consider specifically conflicts with other people's individual or group rights, including the right to free movement and travel. I have a list of freedoms that I keep in mind. The freedom of life, the freedom of belief, the freedom of thought, the freedom of faith, the freedom of speech, the freedom of association, the freedom of exchange, the freedom of movement or travel, and the freedom to live life free from government interference. These are basic freedoms. One nation supports these, but we do not see any consideration in this bill for the rights of others specifically, including the freedom of movement and travel. Nor does the bill guide or address the resolution of conflicting needs. When people in society have conflicting needs, one group wants to protest and the other group sees an infringement of its rights. The bill does not consider offensive language or intimidation through noise or numbers of protesters. For One Nation, it is extremely important, as we've done in the past on similar bills, to have Australians feeling safe. Australians must feel safe. We cannot abide by any intimidation of Australians. Next point, the bill encroaches into areas that should remain under state law. One Nation is very, very strong and clear on states' rights because we believe in competitive federalism, a fundamental tenet to accountability in this country. What we've seen is the states have had their rights robbed, stolen by encroaching and greedy, all-powerful central governments, federal governments that seek to run the country with no accountability, under both Labor and Liberal. So we don't like the encroachment into other areas that should remain under state law. The bill tries to limit penalties for contraventions that may be considered to apply to necessary restrictions without defining the word excessive. There's no definition of the word excessive. Sadly, the word peaceful is not defined, and that's extremely important. So our conclusions are: we thank Senator Shoebridge for introducing this bill and debating the bill. We are concerned about the vague wording. Is that poor drafting? Let's give Senator Shoebridge the benefit of the doubt, because although the Greens can be disruptive when it suits them, Senator Shoebridge has not done anything malicious in my experience with him. I support the conflict of peaceful protest.
Thank you, Senators. Please draw your attentions through your contributions through the chair.
So I support the concept of peaceful protest. Very important to get that on the record. This bill, though, as it is, suffers from deficiencies that need to be addressed. Thank you.